I am going to do another full site editing program testing, and this is number 13, authoring an author template. So we're here in a local site. This is actually the result I tried the last time. That's kind of weird, but I tried some borders and various things. So okay, let's go over here. I have installed 2022, and that's a theme I'm using, WordPress 5.9.2, and Gutenberg plugin 12.9. So we'll go to Appearance Editor. Here we are in the site editor. As you see up here, this is not a W. This is a custom site icon. I do not know how to remove or switch back to the W icon. So now we're going to go and click that, and we're going to go to templates, and I'm going to add an author template. So it starts out blank. Here it would be nice to add, for instance, author template pattern, some kind of placeholder. Starting blank like this can be scary. It does not add the default header that I'm using for pages or the footer. So basically here I need to just add in my own header, and I'll do it like this, and header, or I can click the plus and locate header down here, or begin writing. So here we have the header. I will choose existing header, and looking through the list here, I can see one menu here, another menu here. So basically there are different menus for different headers depending on a header I used, and the menu navigation block that I have modified. So the default, I believe, that I use on pages is not obvious what I use, but I believe it is this. So it would be nice to have some kind of hint, and perhaps having the used header for other pages up in the top, just kind of showing me the one that's in use other places. So here I will choose the header right here. I have earlier added another icon. This is kind of confusing how some of the menu stuff works here, but that is for another time. So this I will remove again. So here we have a thin header, and we can see down here in the bottom. We can also open the list view. So next on my list, so I will also add the footer, and I'll choose the footer, and let's see, I'm not sure which footer I'm using for other pages here, but I'll just choose the one right here. So right now we have the footer nudged up to the header, and I have to kind of click between like so. And here I am supposed to add columns from the test. It is just showing patterns. So I'll go over here, click to add a column, and let's see here, we have the 70-30. So I'm going to do this a little bit quick. So basically it will just kind of go from my memory. So basically I kind of screw that up. I put that inside the footer. Let's do an undo here. Let's see if that works. I want to then add a column. So basically right now, if I click this, I believe that might be inside the header. I'm not really sure. Okay, we click down here, and I'll add a column. And it's 70-30. So in here, we're going to add a query loop. And I will just select one of these. Okay, let's select this one. And let's see, I remember I was supposed to add in here default layout or in here query from template. This is somewhat, I still find this confusing. And this will probably be modified over time. So we have the query loop in here. And I believe I'm supposed to add a no result somewhere in here. If there's no results, I will then get a message. Let's see, no result. Okay, so here I could add some text, or so did that, yeah, it disappeared on me here. And let's see if I kind of go like, okay, so I can click inside, I believe. And there was something about using, what was it again? So testing instructions here, adding structure, add footer, header template, 70-30. And in here from query, from template, that's I did. No result block, and there's a video for that as well. I believe there's some kind of okay, I don't remember right now, so we'll just kind of add in some text, or actually I will go to the one I said earlier and that I am not able to see here. So we'll just add in some text. That author has not yet published any posts. Please check back later on. Thank you. All right, thanks. Okay, so this is then no result. It will show up if there is no post for this specific author. So what I forgot to say as well is that I've actually made an author user role. I also called it author, so that's the one I'm using right now. Okay, so we have that in place. We have the query loop. I will just add a background here. How about some kind of green, or maybe a gradient? Light green kind of fits in. So what else can I do with a query loop? Is there any options for that I can add? No, I can go in column for this specific column. I can change the padding. I can okay, so that's all I can do here for this column right now. So what I should have done is first add a group, and I will drag then the columns into the group. And let's see, it's not in a group yet. So now I was able to drop it in. It was not clear. There's not drop zone for dropping things into a group. So the group has various options here. I'll just add a kind of like a thin light background, like a gray here, and some dimensions, for instance 20. Block spacing has nothing. Okay, let's just add it in. Doesn't affect anything right now. Border, we got a 9 border here. Let's do 3. Change the style and the color. Thin, put it up a little bit bigger. So radius, for the corners here, I will add 10. Okay, so we have that in place. And now I'll add something in here. I'll add a group block here as well. Okay, so we will add our latest post as was mentioned in as a suggestion to use. So here I kind of expect that to be similar to a query loop. Let's just add various things here. Author name by editor, because that's the editor user role. I also call the user for editor, this is a post date. And I can't move these up and down because there's no inner blocks here. So this is kind of limited how this can be done compared to a query loop. So I guess I could probably just add a query loop here instead of the latest post, because they seem kind of similar to each other. Okay, so I will then open this up and just kind of see how things are here. And I will add some kind of border here as well. And a little bit of color for that. And let's see here. How about 9? So it looks pretty ugly, but this is then some of the results I am getting at. So what I actually want to create later on is actually an author box that I can add to this. So right now I'm going to save it. Templates author. And the default footer, I guess I made some modifications too. The tricky part here is able to actually locate how to view this on the front page. And give a link for that. And let's see here. So I will go to the front end here and see what it looks like. And we have then author, and the username is editor. And here I can basically see what I did. So I can see then that the group goes all the way down to the bottom. It looks like I removed the footer. So this is kind of really nice, nudged up to the edge here with the border. So this is then what it looks like.